What's good, y'all? I'm Skip.
And I'm DJ.
And this is DeCypher. And today we are breaking down Smino's latest album, Love for Rent. Before we get started, DJ, I do want to ask you, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm glad to be here.
Me too, man. Me too. Luckily, we're been blessed enough to discuss an album of this quality from a surprising source. And not to say due to his stance as a musician, but I just hadn't really heard much of Smino or been introduced to him as a musician. But if we're looking into introductions, this is a very good introduction into the world of Smino, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I knew of Smino for a while, for a couple of years, because I've heard him on other people's songs, but for the most part, I never actually looked into a project of his own until now, and I would definitely go back.
Yeah, I had heard him on the I think I had heard a couple songs off a project of his a couple years ago, and I can't even remember which one. And if this gets to Smino somehow, I'm sorry, bro. I just didn't know. Bro, I just didn't know.
We awake now.
Charge it to my head, not my heart. But the first time I really heard him and knew exactly who he was on the Isaiah Rashad, The House is Burning. Was that Claymore? Yeah.
It was Claymore.
That was the first time that I consciously was like, okay, this is the Smino guy. This guy is good. And even still, that's one song. So, it went to the back of my mind, and then 40 Proof came along, and I was like, okay, 90 Proof. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, 90 Proof came along.
We got a prequel?
90 Proof came along, and that had me like, okay, when the album comes, I gotta watch it. I mean, I gotta listen to it because it feels visual, but what J. Cole did as a feature artist and then what he contributed sounded like some shit straight out of the mid to late 90s from the Goody Mob, CeeLo's, Dungeon Family era, and it just had me in a place where I was like, okay, this is special. I already know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
What about you, DJ?
It's the same thing. I wasn't, like I said, I'm awake, Smino. So I'm sorry for sleeping on you for so long. but yeah, I went to the album because you told me about the J. Cole verse on 90 Proof. So okay, cool, let me go check it out. And when I listened to the album, that's the first song I went to. I'm like, okay, cool. I like this song. This is fire. Where can I get more of this?
Yeah, exactly.
And that rest of the album is more of that and then some. So I was very much appreciative of having a good listening experience because, I mean, for the most part, a lot of the albums this year have not really gotten exposure or the recognition that I feel so they should have. I don't know, for whatever reason, just this year in music, it just hasn't really, I don't know, it just ain't really hit.
It might just be off the heels of the pandemic, I guess. And a lot of the artists who dropping the music that's of a better quality, in my opinion, would be artists who not necessarily got the bag behind them as far as marketing budgets and shit like that. So when you look at, that era of artists like the Boogies, the Jids, the Sminos, they don't have the same push that a Drake or Uzi Vert or 21 Savage or Young Thug, other artists.
Drake is
from
different,
a little baby, other artists from their era, not to include Drake, but everybody else, the other artists of their era who may have more money to push behind them, because they may have bigger names at the time. Yeah. But as far as quality, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I wish, that some of the albums that we discussed would have more of an impact prior to release, due to marketing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, let's get into some of our initial thoughts. We kind of did, but just to go over it again, this album is a fucking groove, a stone cold groove, as some of my older friends would say. It's a great introduction to Smino as an artist. If this is your first time getting into him, like we are, as far as a full, run of a project, and he exhibited some true musicianship, and did a great merger of a balance between the newer age of R&B, soul with hip hop.
Yeah, because I really didn't have I didn't expect what I got, in the sense that typically this type of artistry is very, very rare. amongst the new wave of artists. So I didn't know if I was going to get like super pill poppy drunk music or just like, I hate to say backpack rap, but backpack rap, just rappity rap type shit. Like I just didn't know what to expect. And just this type of sound, you don't really get that too often without going back to an era before our own, I feel. So I thought that was really interesting. And like you said, he just merged in so many different types of sounds to try to create his own. I thought that's very commendable because a lot of times people just, especially new. Well, is Smino considered like a new artist? How long he's been around?
He's been a while. He's been around a while, like at least 7 years. I think his first project may have came out in like 2015.
Yeah.
Because that's what from the Sway interview, I think he said he went to Sway for the first time when that project dropped in like 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Wild Hours Rose was like 16 or 17.
Okay.
So
yeah, we can say
like
at
his
least
first single.
in the Jiddish,
the
Jiddish era.
Single,
Yeah, because Never Story was like, 17? Something like that. So yeah, he's of this middle child era.
Middle child, okay.
Not super fresh.
Shout out to Cole.
The artists who are like finding their stride for the most part. He's not a 2010 baby.
Yeah.
He's like somewhere in the middle of the 10 and 20s.
And that's why I really think it's commendable because like at this point in his career, like even though like you said, I guess he's somewhat established, but the fact that he's taking so many styles to try to carve out his own new way of making an album, I thought that was really interesting. He was able to pull it off. Because most of the time when people experiment, it don't end well.
Yeah, so, but I think he just really in tune with who he is as an artist. Like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to like hear him like working with the Isley Brothers or some shit.
That'd be fire.
Just off of, you can tell that he got a lot of old school R&B. Like it may not be his go-to musically, but it's there. It exists. Yeah. Like so much so that he flipped the Al Green song on one of these courses. So yeah, man, let's get into some of our favorite songs.
Yep.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go first. If you don't mind, my brother.
Yeah, you good.
In no particular order, we got Euphoria, Blue Billy, Garden Lady, More Than a Minute, Curtains, and Settle Down. What you got for your favorite tracks, and then we'll discuss them.
I got Pro Freak, I got Blue Billy, Matinee, More Than a Minute, or Mo Than a Minute.
Thank you.
Mo Than a Minute. I got Defibrillator, and I got 90 Proof.
Okay. I remember contacting you about a song, not telling you what song and not telling you what artist. So let's talk about that song first. Let's talk about Pro Freak and the standout surprise feature on that song, Doechii.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment to put a spotlight on Doechii. I think she's really like this song, like she completely took it over and like made it her baby.
Yeah,
I feel like. Now, granted, Smino was great, but I'm just gonna be honest. On this part of the album, I don't listen to it for Smino. I just go straight for that verse because she went stupid on that song, bro. Like I just commend her for coming in and like the content is, it's cool. It's just how she puts it together, like the technicality of how she actually rapped the song and how she just came on the beat and just like rolled the beat. So I thought that was really, really like a great moment in the album. And that was early on in the album too. I think that was like
song 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
to me, it sounded like lab work. Like she's been really honing in on her craft.
Yeah.
And it's like when you get to a point where you know how to pick your spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
just like you find your spots on the court.
Yeah. And she just really like how first of all, the amount of flow pockets she had. And I know, but it's like, hey, we talking about hip hop, so we discussing flow pockets. Yeah. She had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And she went into them and jumped out of them seamlessly. It's like she had them wrote down like dribbling combinations in a fucking drill. And it was beautiful. It was so smooth. Like she sounded like a veteran.
Yeah.
And like for somebody who's considered a rookie, to get on the song and like just sound this good, this comfortable,
polished,
and not just as a rookie. Like she got on here and stole the show.
Yeah.
Like this may be one of the top 5 or 6 verses on this entire project.
I agree. 100%.
So, and if once you hear this, if you haven't heard it already, or if you have heard it, you understand that Smino really got in his bag and picked his spots as well when it was time for him to rap.
Mm-hmm. So,
super duper kudos to Doechii for her verse.
Yeah.
I also agree with that. Let's get into let's talk about More Than a Minute.
More Than a Minute, that's the song with Lucky Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with Lucky Day. As far as like just like a concept, I mean, I don't think it's really anything like super layered or complex to pull from. It's just a really nice like vibe. And like you said, this is a song I believe is the Al Green.
Yeah, it is.
Flip on that. So the fact that it definitely feels like an R&B, like a modern R&B song with a, I guess, old school feel on it. So I definitely appreciated that song for sure.
Because it caught me off guard because, okay, in the chorus it's like the Al Green on, and then he just slides into singing that hook to that song in the chorus, like on some smooth shit. So, and in the song, Al Green is singing it from his perspective. But the way that Smino freaked it was as if the girl was saying it to him. Like, she tired of being like alone for the most part. Like, you not being, present enough. I think Lucky Day, shout out to Lucky Day for his album too, was called Candy Drip.
Yeah, Candy Drip.
That shit was hard. So when hearing him on this, I already know that he coming with it. So he did a really good job. And this other guy, Felix, I'm assuming that's how you say his name. Phoenix Felix. He did a great job too. Because he was the guy on the hook with the deeper, what's that guy name? Deeper register that kind of sound like not Samfa, but ain't it him from
Masego,
no, not Masego. The dude who was on Father Time with Kendrick. What's his name? Samfa? Yeah, kind of like him, like in that area, like that deep, airy voice register thing.
Some from the UK, right?
I believe so.
I couldn't tell you.
I believe so.
Either Africa.
I couldn't tell you.
UK, my nigga. That's all I hear now.
Yeah, but yeah, Sanford. That's what you talking about. Yeah.
Let's get into Blue Billy. That's one of the ones that we had on both of our lists. And we'll get into like the themes and concepts and like really breaking them down. But I just want to kind of address some of our favorite tracks.
Yeah.
I like Blue Billy. I don't really know exactly what it is about this song for real. Mm-hmm. I think it's like one of those songs where he was just like really loose and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also saying, "Run me my money."
Yeah, and when I looked up, like, because I didn't understand what the title meant, like I didn't know what Blue Billy meant. So when I was going through the lyrics and a lot of stuff that was highlighted, I thought it was like an interesting little tidbit that like Blue Billy is a reference to a real person.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
elaborate. Do tell.
Yeah, let's do.
Where is it?
You tell me. You tell me.
But yeah, Blue Billy is in reference to a black man named Willie Billy Blue. Billy's the nickname, but William Blue is his name. And basically, he lived in Australia, and he had gotten in trouble with the law for the most part. And he went and served his time, but he was so talented in terms of like his wit and how he got along with people that he ended up getting like government jobs, being recognized by the government as essentially an entrepreneur, going around doing odd jobs here and there, doing that he ended up being given land by the government. Like he ended up getting like 80 acres of land known as Blue Point, and just basically started a whole bunch of businesses coming from all the acres of land he received from the government.
So that's okay. We all hustlers, Blue Billy.
Yeah, entrepreneur at the end of the song, like that's where the connection comes from.
And I think about this too. The chorus when he was saying, "I know hitters, I know dealers, I know girls that set up niggas, I know preachers, I know healers," and I really don't feel no difference. Basically saying I don't have a judgment from anybody because we're all confined to the conditions of capitalism.
Yeah, and then another thing too with Billy, he was suspected a lot of times of smuggling in various goods and harboring escaped convicts. So that goes straight into the chorus as far as like, yeah, like that's another reason why he got caught up. But it goes back to I know hitters, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
oh, okay. So these the people. Okay, so this is Blue Billy's friend group, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a dope tidbit because it's like a lot of times you don't understand the titles because sometimes like man, that's some bullshit. But that's dope. So I had no idea about that.
So I think he just kind of intertwined that person's life with his own experiences and just made a song. Out of it, and it just makes sense based off their backgrounds, and he may have similar come ups, you know, on the way up. So,
but this verse, he was talking. We'll get to like breaking down these verses later on, but he was wilding on this first verse, like what he said. I see you came with empty styrofoam. It's cool. I pour in your cup, and then he was talking about she got that juice fruit. I want to get in the guts. He had another series of lines like that on another song where he was like, hit my limit. I had to pull out and blow in it.
Blow in like a Nintendo.
Was that Matinee? No, it wasn't Matinee.
No, it wasn't Matinee. It was
I'm sure we'll get to it. Let's not get too hung up on that.
Yeah.
But what's another?
Old ass Kendrick.
Garden Lady. Let's go Garden Lady.
Yeah. You said want to go to Garden Lady?
Yeah, let's go to Garden Lady.
I think Garden Lady is my favorite song on the album.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
If you vibrate low, don't bumble bum buzz my way. Sweet money, heavy on the honeys. Like it's just like you said, I like the groovy shit, and this is one of those just groovy ass songs, bro. Like, and he got this way of like, and I know I got an analogy for how everybody rap, but it just feel like when he rapping on this, it's like a sun, like a little circle that's the sun with a smiley face bouncing on the words across the captions. Like smoke my resin, get my rest in. Like it's just like, and then he gets to a point where he just like rapping fast. I can't remember the exact flow, but that shit was hard. So yeah, like this is my favorite song because it's very smooth, it's very calm, and it's basically about protecting your energy. Yeah, and like we get in that phase of life, bro, which, bro, stay the fuck away from me if you ain't really like on top of your shit. And that's just beside the point of the song just being dope as fuck in its own right.
Especially at the point of we establishing families, like we don't have time to bring that energy, that negative energy into our inner circle.
And like my nigga ain't there yet, but like he trying to get it together.
Right.
So it's like
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch a nigga progress through that, and this album has a couple different progressions. It's like him progressing through, I guess, learning or becoming comfortable with being intimate with another person, and he just going through the pitfalls of him battling whatever he's battling as far as past trauma that's making him feel reluctant to it in a way, and trying and like drawing back and trying again, and then getting to a point on Lee and Levy where he's very much open to the fact of open to the prospect of being loved and truly loving somebody.
So hence love for rent. Yeah, I'm loaning out my love and giving you these in these different moments, these different pockets, but
from what I have to provide right now.
Right. Yeah. And then towards the end, on Lou and Levy, he with it. He like, and he said on a performance that Lee and Levy is his grandma and granddaddy.
Oh, so okay. I didn't get that.
He wants to at the end he wants to come together like that. So he ready to put a down payment on it. He don't want to rent no more.
But I'm telling you, that kind of love though, bro. It comes with its trials, I'm sure. Like they didn't last all them years without going through something.
But the beautiful thing is he's let go of some of his misconceptions about it, and he's willing to try.
Yeah,
you know,
this is almost like love was for rent. Like he's wrapping it up. Like the aspiration is there.
Yeah, but it took him the entire album to get there. So it's the journey of him leaving that notion alone. Yeah, which makes which is the storyline of the album, and I feel like also, you know, the love that he's getting and sharing with his family along the path of the album. Like it started off with his little cousin singing it, you know, just bringing him into the world or exposing him to the world of the, you know, consumers, like him singing it. And then as you go through it, you understand like where the cousin comes from and who the cousin dad is. At least I'm thinking this is the case. The uncle that speaks later on in the album. I'm assuming that's his son, because that's what would make it a deeper connection, in my opinion.
Yes, I don't mean to call you boy, but he's like, no, you good. I'll always be a boy. I was like, all right.
That's my uncle, man. I love him, man.
Like, I respect that.
Free him.
He was like, man, the way what do you say? You like you make the people involved. Like you gravitate to people and they are into you.
Hey, you can be a leader, bro.
Yeah.
You can be a leader. Hey, I didn't even know your rap name for real.
He's like, Smino.
On the J, put you on the kiosk.
On the kiosk.
On the kiosk. What the hell kiosk he using?
That's that JPay.
Yeah, that's that JPay. When you put in monies and you get stuff. You pull it up on your little iPad.
Yeah, I ain't even know your little rap name.
So yeah, man, let's get into, you want to talk about, well, we can talk about them deep in rap shit. Let's get into the themes and concepts of this project. We've kind of loosely talked about them. Yeah. Shit, we kind of like really got into them, but like, let's break them down and like really discuss some of the ones. Okay, so Finding Himself. This album is definitely, it's not necessarily a coming of age, because I feel like he's already in tune with who he is, but it's like stepping into another phase of his life. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I know I'm grown, but there's just certain stuff that I have to like accept and acknowledge before I can move forward. Okay, I got something blocking me from loving or whatever, from being able to do that. Okay, whatever that is, like I'm willing to tackle that and move forward. And I feel like this is the journey of that. And along that journey, he finds himself. Yeah, because
everybody, as far as your adulthood, like everybody doesn't experience things in the same way at the same time. You know, so the fact that, you know, even though like you said, he's at that point of trying to discover himself, that doesn't mean that I was necessarily ready last album or last year or whatever, but I'm willing to give it a shot now. So hence, I'll give you certain parts of me just to see what you do with it. And if I like it, then like you said, by the end of the album, he ended up being all in tune or all in for the prospect of actually having someone that he can grow with.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really like a big prevalent, because a lot of the songs he's are talking directly to women.
Yeah.
As far as like his different experiences.
And he talking to a specific woman, because the woman that he purchased that Telfar for, he love her. He love her. Like he mentioned that Telfar like 5 times in this album.
Yeah.
What song was that? When he was talking about the money. The Telfar, Tell It All. She ain't gotta go in her pocket. Is that it's early. It's early in the album. Is that Lou Faria? Or is it Old Ass Kendrick?
Yeah,
it's
Old Ass Kendrick.
Yeah. So yeah, and then he mentioned it again deeper in the album. So it's like it seems like, and I think he did that so he didn't have to identify her in any more intrusive way.
Yeah.
So like the woman with the Telfar is the woman that he is going through this series of phases of intimate connection with.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is first big bag. So he's spending money like he never.
And that's
did
what
before.
he said. He said, "I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna spin it.
Before.
Gotta blow in it." Nigga said, "I hit my limit for." But what? Oh yeah. And another theme and or concept that I came across was that we kind of roughly talked about was the force of love. And feeling seen and appreciated for what you bring to the world by those closest to you. Mm-hmm. And in that, what we were talking about, you know, him having a conversation with somebody he seemed really close to, which was his uncle. Yeah. But his uncle just wasn't fully aware of what he knew he rapped, but he didn't know much about him as an artist. And for him to see basically in another world, because prison seems to be like another world for a lot of people who discuss it, that his nephew had such a big impact to people in prison and he didn't even know about it. And then once he became aware of it, him discussing it felt like a huge bonding moment for them. It's like, okay, because I can see like a lot of artists going through a point, and he kind of softly alluded to it where people look at you as an artist and it takes a while for them to appreciate you as an artist. You know, sometimes it's like, how that music thing going. You know what I mean? And it seems like
that
through
music,
the process of this album, he was getting the respect, acknowledgement, and admiration from his family members. Because his sister, he was talking about his uncle was showing him love, but then he was like, he feel the same way when he hear about his nephew. So it was like a full circle thing.
This music thing is my life, bro. It ain't that.
Yeah, like I'm really immersed in it. So like y'all get to know another side of me when y'all accept me as an artist, because I'm really giving stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about all the time through my music.
It's so like almost reverse imposter syndrome with your family, because every artist go through it.
Yeah.
The
And
family's the last one to take you seriously.
Yeah. It's like, bro, I'm
Like,
touring St. Louis to Shanghai, and like my uncle just now getting hip. It's crazy, bro. People
Like,
know me like across the world, but like my granddaddy like not listening to my music, which is nuts. Which is nuts.
Like, I mean, at the same time, I guess I can understand, because those are the people, I guess, that know you the best. Like, they know you outside of, like, well, Smino not his real name, is it? Or was that his little rap name?
Nah, that's not his rap name. It's something else.
Okay. But yeah,
I had to pull up the credits, but it's not Smino.
Yeah, it'll be hard. Like, in some instances, I can understand why it'd be harder for certain family members to understand and grasp that I am another person outside of the person you think I am.
Yeah.
Like it's another side of me. And so, like, I can understand, like, as far as him wanting to bridge that gap and make his family appreciate what he does as far as outside of them. So I really like that too. Because like you said, that conversation with his uncle, you can tell that it meant enough to him to put it on the album.
For sure. Like, it was one of the driving forces of the album. And the last like theme that I wanted to get to was him dealing with the weight of the world outside and like several moments of escapism where he would address something in the album where it was like, well, kind of make it deep, and then be like, well, shit, I'm finna go on, like, smoke this weed or take these shrooms or whatever.
Oh, he
like,
deflecting from whatever.
Yeah, like, or just like, hey, this shit deep, or either I can't change it or it's just too much right now. So let me go ahead and smoke this weed so I can vibe out and relax.
You got some words?
You sound cute.
What's your name?
That nigga, who that nigga called Kroger's trying to get some bud. I mean, trying to get some backwoods. Nigga,
his search for woods will never end.
Not searching at them places,
right?
Because who we calling next? Trader Joe's.
This nigga called Kroger's, bro. Like, they ain't got no damn woods in there, man. Like, come on, man.
Ain't no backwoods on that side of town.
Let's get into we progressing pretty well through this. Let's get to some rap shit, and then we'll do the closing thoughts.
Yeah.
I got a couple bars that I want to get off.
Y'all ain't gonna dive in 90 proof?
Yeah, I'm about to say J. Cole whole verse. That's what's on mine.
Yeah, we can pull that up.
Yeah.
Because I had it listed like Doechii and J. Cole, you know, their guest verses. But one of the ones that I thought was cool was the Been Afflicted, Feel Like J-Lo. Radio Won't Play Me because I radiate different. Hard as fuck. Diamonds Dance in the Tesla, Electric Slide. That, bruh, this nigga had some of the coldest, like, just one line.
Wait. Say that again?
Diamonds Dance in the Tesla, Electric Slide. Get it? Like,
oh, that's tough. I don't even, what song was that on?
Matinee.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And that, like, I really like Matinee. It was just like some of these other songs just like
I don't remember
crazy,
that.
bro.
I gotta
like,
go
He got
back.
some sneaky bars. Bro.
He does.
Yeah, maybe that just went over my head. That's tough.
He got
bro.
some sneaks.
Free our mind. We smoke divine because we divine. I scope the vision with 3 eyes. I'm aligned and I'm alkaline. Like, that nigga was going ham, but that was on Defibrillator.
Yeah.
Like,
damn, no, that Electric Slide is hard though.
like
That's
the whole
tough.
second verse on Defibrillator and the second verse on Curtains, just both just immaculate, bro. I like the hook on Defibrillator too because I feel like that's like the family song. That nigga said, "I'll be loved when none is around." Like just dope, bro. You got some DJ from the clips, or you want to run through some of these verses? You want to do the J. Cole?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the J. Cole like that. He said that 90 proof burned a little hole in my gut. Walton the Fortunate John got it bumping. My dog got the rushing like a Soviet pup. I'm just like, bro, like, this nigga don't shoot. Like, that's so tough, bro.
2-6, we got a loose screw. Shit
then-
with twisted like a Rubik's Cube. I don't really do the cat. Like, bro, J. Cole went ham, bro. And I know, like, if y'all are fans of us or supporters rather from our previous shows, y'all would be like, bro, I know Skip hate J. Cole. I don't, bro. I actually love J. Cole. I just expect so much from him. And this is one of those verses where I got exactly what I wanted and then some.
Y'all know they go G-O-T
me. I spell it out like you like fabulous.
Yeah.
Might just call up on Riri. Ask for the feature. Ben Franklin. No. Okay, we ain't finna rap this nigga whole verse.
Yeah.
But that nigga went stupid, bro.
Yeah.
And to the point where that's one of the few verses on this album that I know by heart already. Cause like, well, Smino was just rapping so fucking fast and changing his flows and singing and shit. It's just hard to like memorize that so fast. Like J. Cole's was right there for you, you know, digestible, but extremely dope.
But now that Soviet Pup line, that's the one I was just like, oh, wait a minute. Like, well, let me wind up. Let me actually listen what the hell he's saying, because that's fire. So that's
shit will turn like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, J. Cole, like simple but effective.
Yeah,
I like it. It's properly placed on the right song.
Way better than M's on them heads.
And Luigi down. I mean, Luigi brother now.
Bro, the crazy thing about that shit, I would like the shit if people didn't gas it.
Yeah,
people gas.
Okay.
You're right.
Nope.
Go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog.
I kind of swept through my rap shit, so I'm kind of like, we on you now.
I mean, it was really the Cole verse and the Dolce.
Okay, let me go to curtains real quick. While I got a chance.
Like I said, with Smino, for the most part, like I like the way he sounds, and I catch a lot of stuff, but some stuff, like I gotta read with the lyrics.
He said,
I'm not gonna lie to you, like I do. Cause like some stuff I clearly be missing, and like I do not remember that Tesla bar. I don't. I really don't. So that shit, it must have just went over my head.
And on one of these songs, he did a bunch of Smee flips, like Smeon Sanders, Smino Da Vinci.
Yeah.
What's Tesla name?
Smeon Musk.
Like he was wild because like he was going in, bro. The nigga mentioned the Isleys. Like I don't know this. I can't recall, like it was so many different flows. I can't recall these flows. But the entire second verse on matter of fact, it's the wrong fucking verse. Let's pull up curtains.
He did mention Isley. I think it was on Curtains.
It was on what's the name? It was on Garden Lady. Yeah, when he was talking about the Amir, if Amir redid the American flag, it still went swag. Still feel the way holding that shit over. I still feel like they holding that shit over our head. That is a fire double entendre, bro.
Yeah. I remember that.
When you the flag, of course, obviously is hanging over our head, but he feel like the fact of the stars and stripes and what it represents, he feel like they hanging that over our head. That was a fire double entendre. But I like this part. He was like, somehow them knots manifested, the knots in my pockets and knots on a bow tie pasta at Isima. Bon appetit with my partners. Them people come greet me. My eyes on Konnichiwa. Like that whole shit right there, all the way to like the Ichion, and then like ordained orchestrator running with the bands, and nigga feel like Dr. Lee or something. Bruh. I was like, shit. Like, okay. Like that is such a, bruh, you gotta be our age or older to catch that reference. Cause that's a drumline reference. And then he didn't make it like obvious. Like that shit was hard, bruh. I'm thoroughly impressed with this shit, bro.
It's low key bars.
Yeah.
Sneaky bars.
You wanna pull up and go through the Dochi verse?
Yeah, I think
cause after that we gonna be cause that'll be it for me.
I just turned it off.
I got it.
Yeah, I just turned it off.
Shit, where is her verse?
It's at the bottom. It's like diamonds are yellow.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, yeah. Diamonds is yellow. My chain on Modelo. My foot on the pedal. My hood in the metal. I'm good in the ghetto. Booty on Jello. The cootie on Pharaoh. The spirit on Tarot. The studio narrow. Okay, so bro, like the flow was just so stupid, bro. Waist so miss incredible, face this credible, black bitch, set bitch, bad bitch, federal, bombastic bitch. I got several high fashion shit on my pedestal. She's a pro free, Angelina like Jolie, Santhalina right bowl. She purified and her soul clean. I need her, no quitting, Tarantino, no fit. Man, she was going stupid, bro. Okay, look. If we sit here and go through these bars, it's gonna be another hour. If you haven't listened to this album, please go listen to it. We're not getting paid by Smino. We don't know him. I ain't never met him. I ain't never shook his hand. We are doing this because we love music.
I don't know Doechii. I don't know Lucky Day.
Nope, definitely don't know that nigga. Definitely don't know cuz. But yeah, man.
This nigga won a Grammy. He ain't talking to us.
Nah.
So
name had to be Rob Martin.
Some shit.
Rap genius. But you done as far as
as far as like major bars, like those are the ones like I just really want to get into.
Let's go to DeCypherEd. I want to get to the second verse. I just want to run through a couple of these. Cause he had, I think it's the one where he was like the boom shaka, dun, 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 dun. I think no. We already went through currency. Defibrillator. Defibrillator full of flavor as I roll my smoke. Wish I could pass it, but this panic turned me into a germaphobe. Bitch, we the wave in the boat. My heart been glacier cold, but I just needed to know. Like, bro, he was snapping, bro. What he said? Oh, this is the one where he was talking about his uncle, saying his uncle had just reached out to him. He been locked up since he was hardly walking. Told them niggas in the yard be always talking about me. That's my nephew. So yeah, like this was the one where he was reestablishing a connection with what people would kind of call a wayward family member, because his uncle hadn't been around enough, but like his uncle, not enough, but hadn't been able to be around as much as he would like to. But the impact that he's had, you know, and the way that he can, you know, feel his nephew from such a far distance was dope. So yeah, and then the I'll Be Loved When No One's Around was just kind of encapsulated what I felt the album was. Like, it's just about love in many different forms.
Yeah.
Outside of the obvious title, Love for Rent, but it's just like different ways that you can give and receive love. Like the self-love that he, you know, has, because he's obviously, in essence, kind of full of himself. Like, you gotta be to, you know, be able to try all of this other shit. And call Shawty from Kroger's and try to pull over the phone, because like at this ripe age, like he was probably like, hey, shit, I'm finna pull up and bring you some lunch. Like, we should chat in the parking lot. You feel me? I got a doobie for you. I'm gonna get you geek before we go back. But yeah, man, I just feel like he did a great marriage of the sonics and the lyricism and the wittiness and the genre bending, all to bring it into this encapsulated, like well formulated, not formulaic, but well formulated body of work. Like I said, this is just a beautiful piece of art to me. He's an excellent singer, rapper, and writer. Excuse me. I don't know what a top 10 is this year. So you know how niggas just say everything in top 5. I'm just gonna say it like it's top 5 for the year. I probably got 72 albums in my top 5. So do with that what you will, but this is a really good album.
Yeah, it definitely has mid to high replay value, I feel. Shit. Especially if you, well, we already know what your
we up there.
I listen to this joint every day.
This shit hard.
Yeah. But I can see how, like, if you're not in that space, as far as like knowing who he is, that it may not catch your ear right away. But like for me, like I'm interested in learning and understanding artists that I've never heard of before. Because like I told you before I even started doing the podcast, a lot of artists, I mean, granted, I know a good deal about music for the most part, but a lot of stuff that I've never even thought to listen to, people and things like that, like doing this, like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a job, but like having a project like this, being able to really dive in and without any type of like preconceived notions that mainstream present to you about certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like make you really have to dive in and do your homework. I really appreciate that because personally, I don't think I would have listened to this album if we weren't doing it, but I'm glad I did now, because now I'll be able to go to, if I wanted to go and listen to all his other projects, I'll be willing to do that now that I got a good taste.
I feel like I know him a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, of what he is or what he can bring to the table. So even if it's something drastically different from what I've heard here, either way, like, I'm inclined to, because he's giving me a good showing right off the bat. At least it's right off the bat for me. Yeah. So I thought this was a really, really great album. It may seem ambitious to some, but to me, I think it was needed. Because,
go ahead.
Like, it's needed in this day and time, because everybody followed the same trends, the same formulas with the same type of songs, same type of albums. Like, I gotta have this song, I gotta have that song. This album is not that shit. Like, he not fishing for a single. Like, I gotta have this type of. No, it ain't none of that shit on here. It's just good ass music.
Yeah.
So.
And also, you know, to just piggyback on what DJ's saying, like, in closing, like, to the artists of this era and the artists that are coming up after this, continue to do what y'all doing, man. Continue to unapologetically be yourselves. Continue to push the barriers of what are considered concrete barriers to genres. So if you want to add a little element of R&B, if you feel like you can do that, do that. Continue to be who you are through your music, and just continue to keep the fight for creativity alive, because in this era, in eras past, and I'm sure in eras in the future, there will be a continuous fight for a more archaic and formulaic brand of making music that is more easily consumable. But like, the stuff that lasts forever is the music that is created by their true creatives. Like, you look at artists like Prince, their music is timeless. So everybody not gonna be Prince, but, you know, put forth that effort and engaging yourself creatively, you know, to embark on journeys that lead you down the road to create masterful works of art in an artistic field in the first place. So, Smino, if you heard that, that was for you and people who are following your mode of artistry. And if you ain't got nothing else, DJ?
I mean, I would just say another thing. If you like it, put it out. And if you proud of it, put it out. Somebody gonna like it.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere gonna like the shit. So,
and I saw,
if you truly believe in what you're doing, as far as like the passion you put behind your work, put it out. Somebody will like it, bro. You don't have to put out a project in order to like reach a certain fan base, because the people that's gonna rock with you, they're gonna rock with you regardless. So.
Yeah. And I saw something, and this is really it, and we out of here. I saw something from Rick Rubin. He was saying, you're the audience. The creator is the audience.
Yeah.
Don't do something because you feel like somebody else will like it.
Yeah.
Work for yourself, and it'll always come out the way it was intended, and you'll always please yourself. And it's for the consumer base to sort itself out. So with, you know, no more ado, thank y'all for tuning. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing. Like, another reason why I feel that's so important, because if you trying to make a certain type of album, a certain type of project with a certain type of intention behind it, and you don't get the response you wanted from it, that's going to kill, like, in a sense, what you feel as though music is for you. That's, at least if I was an artist, that's how I would feel about it. So that's why I feel as though you shouldn't go into it trying to create a certain type of album. Just do what feels right to you, and I guarantee you somebody gonna gravitate to it, period.
And hopefully, and you know, like they say, like the cream rise regardless of the situation. So it may just be a slow burn. Yeah. But yeah, just trust in your art and you'll never fail.
So, I got a slow burn. Like, for example, the Chris Brown song, Under the Influence. You know that song?
That everybody dancing under the covers too?
Yeah, bro. That song has been out, I'll probably say, since at least 2018, 2019, I believe. It's just now getting popular now.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's one of those examples of a slow burn type thing. And for somebody like Chris Brown, who puts out music in volumes, the fact that he's able to get something that catch on so many years later is a proof that, you know what I'm saying, if you just make the music, somebody's gonna like it, and eventually, if it reaches enough people, it'll get to where it need to be. So that's why I'm just like, put the music out that you want, And you know what I'm saying? As long as you're proud of it, it shouldn't matter at that point. So
I'm gonna like to say this from a director standpoint. We already locked in with artists nowadays to get growing up. So let me say this to Smino directly from the growth from Black Swan to now is impeccable. The beat selection, the cadence, the way you even conceptualizing the track, it's crazy. It's probably top 3 album of the year for me, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, cool.
And with no further ado, thank y'all for tuning into another episode of DeCypher. As always, follow us on Instagram, DeCypher Media
It'll be somewhere right here.
DeCypher Media Group, all one word. Follow us on YouTube. We'll have everything around here somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be at the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, and until next time, peace.